Today, we're talking about whether Sean Strickland can challenge Khamzat Chimaev's wrestling. Strickland is set to fight Anthony Hernandez at UFC Houston, and his team believes his grappling is strong enough to beat both Hernandez and Khamzat. Before this fight was announced, Strickland had already called out Khamzat, claiming he's the only one who can defeat him. His coach, Eric Nixick, agrees and says Strickland's ground game could be a serious problem for Khamzat. Strickland also said he took the Hernandez fight to prove to the UFC and fans that he can handle strong wrestlers and eventually take Khamzat's spot. However, not everyone agrees. Fighters Bobby Green and Uriah Faber believe Anthony Hernandez has what it takes to beat Khamzat right now, praising his physical skills and abilities.
Do you feel like Sean has like the biggest answer for Chimaev right now?
I do, in the regards of just knowing how good Sean's wrestling is.
Sure.
And like everyone in here knows how good Sean can wrestle and his ground game. Unfortunately, we just don't see it as much as we like in a fight.
Right.
Sean was showing a technique one day and it was hilarious because Brad's like, all right, everybody take a picture of this because you're never going to see it in a fight. So, but yeah, I think there's a lot of backstory there with Chimaev being out here and training with us, and hopefully we can get past Fluffy and have the opportunity to go and compete.
And speaking of Khamzat, after our video went live yesterday, new clips appeared online showing him confronting another fighter. This happened at a fighting championship press conference where Khamzat was present to support his teammate Dzhokhar Dushiev, who is set to fight Anthony Zaidan. During the face-off, Zaidan got aggressive and started pushing Dushiev, forcing him to push back. Zaidan then tried to throw punches, but security stepped in and stopped it. After things calmed down, Zaidan was leaving the stage when Khamzat walked up to him and confronted him about the incident. It's unclear exactly what Khamzat said.
What I see with him is a guy that's got some amazing physical gifts. He's 100% in on his game plan. That's very powerful. And you're a young, durable, hungry, believes anything, believes he can beat anybody. Like, that's hard to beat. I think he will get tested, bro. You know what's happened with Anthony Hernandez? All this big hype with Fluffy has come in the last like 2 years. He's made massive gains with these. They call it the grappling boys. They come in and they have all these guys and they just do rounds. And he's got high level training that has taken his game to the next level. And he believes in himself.
Yeah, he got that never quit spirit. I trained with him before. Like, we used to go after each other, you know what I mean? And I'd get after each other. And he had that same spirit that I got with never quit spirit,
Yeah.
So that'll take you far. I believe he could be the possible person that could give.
I love
Fluffy,
him.
babe.
As for Khamzat, there's still no official update on his next fight. However, he's been very active on social media and recently called out Alex Pereira. Earlier today, Khamzat posted on X comparing their records and claiming the only real difference between them is wins and losses. He also shared clips of Pereira getting knocked out and submitted, followed by a message saying that respect should go both ways. Khamzat added that Pereira's team talks too much, which is why he no longer shows respect. Would you like to see Khamzat versus Pereira? Let us know in the comments. Meanwhile, after UFC 324, Justin Gaethje's coach, Trevor Whitman, confronted Paddy Pimblett backstage over all the trash talk before the fight. Although he was clearly emotional after Justin's dominant win, he still said he respects Paddy. A clip of the moment was later shared online.
خلاص شباب ممكن لا تتجمعوا محمد شو بقي كيلو خلاص دان جايز دان Anthony please Anthony tomorrow brother that's it.
In the same clip, Trevor also shared a surprising detail about Justin Gaethje. He revealed that Justin weighed in around 185 pounds when he stepped into the cage against Paddy. Yes, you heard that right, 185 pounds.
And, I got the utmost respect for Paddy, like I said, prior to going into this. But afterwards, I'm always so respectful of people, but this is why you don't talk like that bothered me very bad. And, you know, you can be respectful when doing there's a lot of things he said, so it is what it is. I don't really let that get to me, but you say you're going to knuckle up Justin's face, is what happens.
This means that on fight night, Paddy was basically fighting someone closer to a middleweight, while he himself was still a lightweight. Justin Gaethje had gained almost 30 pounds after the weigh-ins, which brings back Joe Rogan's argument that extreme weight cutting is like sanctioned cheating, since bigger fighters can drop down and dominate smaller ones. Paddy, on the other hand, didn't seem to gain much weight after rehydrating, probably only gained around 10 pounds, so he likely fought at around 165 to 170 pounds, while Justin was near 185. This raises the question of whether fighters should compete closer to their natural weight instead of cutting so much. After the fight, Colby Covington criticized both fighters, saying Justin looked slow and worn out, and that Paddy looked even worse and froze under the pressure of the big stage. Colby also suggested that Paddy might move up from lightweight to welterweight and even called him out for a future fight, proposing a matchup at a major UFC event in the US, saying their rivalry would make it exciting for fans. The potential fight between Colby Covington and Paddy Pimblett actually sounds pretty entertaining. Even though Colby is 37 and might be slowing down, a matchup of America and Britain at the White House would be great for the storyline. Colby would fully play into the role, probably even dressing up and trash-talking Paddy, which would make the event even more fun to watch. Switching back to Paddy, one of his fans recently shared private messages showing how kind he is. Despite losing the biggest fight of his career, Paddy still took time to reply to his fan, apologizing for the late response and saying he'll be champion soon. The fan also mentioned that Paddy sent a supportive voice message, showing respect and appreciation for his supporters. Now moving on to UFC updates. With UFC 324 happening tomorrow in Australia, the weigh-ins took place last night. In the main event, Alexander Volkanovski weighed in at 144.5 pounds, while Diego Lopez came in at 145, making the fight official. In the co-main event, both Dan Hooker and Benoit Saint-Denis weighed in at 155.75 pounds. Most fighters made weight, except for Aaron Tao, who missed it. Tao first weighed in using the curtains at 122 pounds. Everything seemed normal until they asked him to weigh in again. The reason? It was suspicious that he waited until the last moment to make weight, coming in 3 pounds under the limit. Observers also noticed he seemed to be resting his elbows on the curtains. When he weighed again without the curtains, he registered 129 pounds, a 7-pound difference. Due to this, the fight has now been officially removed from the card. Moving on to other fight news, Danny Silva announced his next UFC fight, scheduled for the March 21st London card. On Instagram, he revealed he'll face Curtis Campbell. Notably, many fighters have been announcing their own bouts. Recently, Silva, a Dana White's Contender Series winner from 2023, has a 2-1 record in the UFC, coming off a loss to Kevin Vallejos. Campbell earned his contract on the Contender Series in September and will be making his official UFC debut. For the following week's card, Nicole Cagliari was originally set to fight Carol Foro, but she pulled out for undisclosed reasons. The UFC has found a replacement. Stephanie Luciano will face Carol Foro. Luciano has a 2-1 UFC record, most recently defeating Ravina Oliveira in October. Looking ahead to UFC Vegas 115 on April 4th, Thomas Peterson will face Guillaume Pat. Peterson, a 2023 Dana White's Contender Series winner, holds a 2-3 UFC record, having lost to Vitor Petrino in October. Pat is undefeated at 6-0 professionally, and this will be his second UFC fight, following his December debut against Alan Fry. UFC 327 is reportedly set to feature a notable fight between Kyle Daukaus and Vicente Luque on April 11th. Daukaus has a 4-4 UFC record with one no contest and recently defeated Gerald Meerschaert at UFC 322 in November. Luque is 16-8 in the UFC and currently on a 2-fight winning streak. There's also news affecting UFC 326. Brian Ortega has withdrawn from his fight against Renato Moicano. According to Leo Walker Guimaraes, the UFC planned for Tom Nolan to step in, but Nolan's manager, Daniel Rubenstein, contradicted this, saying the organization hadn't confirmed those plans and criticizing the report as misleading. This casts doubt on Nolan stepping in, leaving Moicano in need of a replacement. Finally, Khabib shared that Khabib Nurmagomedov's next fight will be against either Sean O'Malley or Merab, depending on UFC decisions. Khabib emphasized the importance of clarifying the top 4 fighters, O'Malley, Merab, Yan, and Omar. If Yan faces Merab, Omar will fight O'Malley. If O'Malley is chosen, Omar will fight Merab. In a recent YouTube video with MMA Guru, Sean O'Malley asked for honest feedback on the matchup. Guru criticized O'Malley's performance as lackluster, but still gave him rounds 1 and 3.
So tell me, if you already said it, I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. Give it to me, honest truth. What do you think? How to do, Coach?
Let's be real, Sean.
Let's do it.
Let's just keep it real. That's what we do here on the O'Malley Guru Show. Is we keep it real. It's kind of a stinker. First 2 rounds were a little bit of snooze fest, if we're being real honest. 3rd round we picked it up. We got the win. That's the big thing. We won the first round. That's a big contentious issue, apparently. I didn't know that was an issue where people were divided. That's confusing to me, but let's be real, dude. The performance could have been a lot more crazy.
Yeah.
A lot more wild. We could have had some crazy moments. You know what?
Absolutely.
The win is the win, and we're back on track.
And that'll wrap up our video today. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to never miss a video. We'll see you all tomorrow.